Hey singers, welcome back. I'm Laura, this is the weekly warm-up, and I love to share clear, fun voice education so you can enjoy your singing even more. Now in my part of the world, it is getting close to recital time. I've got a ton of young singers who are trying to prepare and polish their pieces, and so we're kind of in hyperdrive, making sure that every minute of practice really is effective. Because at the same time they're preparing for recitals, they're also dealing with academic exams, sports, so many other activities, and I know you are busy as well. So I thought I would share with you today one of the techniques that I really love to offer to my students to really help them make their practice as effective, productive, and sort of positive as possible. And this is an idea of practicing every time with 3 goals in mind. You can think of this as like triangle practice, 3-goal practice, but the idea is to apply a template that will help you organize the way that you practice, whether you're practicing for 5 minutes or for an hour. I don't recommend that you practice that long, by the way, but I want you to structure your practice, even if you've only got a little bit of time, so that even the shortest practice session can really move you forward. So if that sounds like something you would like to apply in your practicing, then keep watching. So the idea of 3-goal practice is to take a section of the piece. Now, if you're really close to performance level, maybe the whole piece will work, but oftentimes I use this even at the starting stages of learning a piece just to make my practice more manageable. So first you want to choose how much of the piece you're working on. It might be 1 verse, it might be just a few bars, or it might be the whole big burrito. Whatever it is, set that out and really choose something that is manageable for the time you have. I would rather have you move forward a 4-bar section or even a single phrase of music in a 5-minute practice session rather than saying, I don't have time to practice for an hour today, so I'm just gonna not do anything at all. Those little bits of practice can really add up. So choose a piece of music or a portion of a piece of music that you actually have time to dig into during today's session. And then I want you to choose 3 goals for that section of music. Now the first goal is going to be a musical goal. So this is going to be something that has to do with the notes, rhythms, words, something having to do with kind of what you see on the page. So maybe you want to memorize 1 line of text, or it might be making sure that you're doing a dotted pattern correctly. Whatever it is, I want you to be very specific and only choose 1 thing. This is really the beauty of 3-goal practice, is that you choose 3 specific things. Just one of them will be musical, so you can't choose, E flats versus E naturals and dots and German pronunciation. You got to just pick 1 thing, and everything else is off the table for today because we're just going to move forward that 1 goal, which makes it actually productive and manageable. So you've chosen your 1 musical goal, your sort of language, notes, pitches kind of goal. Your second goal is going to be a technical goal. And this, I usually think of this as something that I will do with my body to create the sound that I want. So oftentimes this will be something like, I want to keep the air moving through the long notes. That seems to be something that comes up for me a lot. Or maybe I'm going to keep my throat open as I move higher, or I'm going to relax my tongue on a particular note. Whatever it might be, this is going to be something physical, something having to do with the way you make the sound come out of your body. And again, be technical. Don't say, I'm going to use good support. Really name a body part, say what you're going to do with it, and set that as your intention, because you really want to be able to say, I did it or I did not do it. So pick something that is kind of anatomical that you know will work. If you need some tips on kind of what to do, I have so many videos on vocalises and ideas about voice technique that can help you choose what that maneuver might be. Maybe if you have a high note that feels unsupported, you could check out one of my videos like squatting into a note. Something like that could really help, diving over. There are so many great options. So choose 1 technical upgrade or tweak, and that's going to be your second goal. Now the third goal will be expressive or dramatic. And this is going to be something that you are going to do specifically, again, that word always comes back, to express the meaning of the piece. Now, this is a place where it's very easy to get extremely vague in terms of your goals. It's very easy to say, oh, I'm going to express love. Well, I would really prefer that you decide how you're going to do it and kind of state a specific action. So, for example, I'm going to use the initial consonants of the word cruel to express how cruel somebody is. So let's just say for a particular phrase, maybe I would decide that I'm going to work on a 4-bar section. I'm going to correctly sing the dotted versus straight patterns. That's my musical goal. I am going to keep my throat open as I move higher in pitch. That'll be my technical goal. And then my third goal, my expressive dramatic goal, will be to use initial consonants to bring out the meaning of the words. Then, once I've stated those 3 goals, which really takes 40 seconds maybe to choose, then I do it. I run that section with just those 3 goals in mind. And because I was so specific in choosing those goals, I can really say, did I do it? How did it feel? If I was not successful in one of those 3 ways, I can think about, okay, why did that not work? Was I getting distracted by all the other potential things? Or is there a deeper underlying problem? Like, do I actually not know when the dots and the straight patterns are? So I can then really dig in and move those 3 goals toward success, but in those very specific arenas. Now, what happens if I successfully sing the dotted and straight patterns and I keep my throat open, or whatever my technical goal was, and I successfully use my initial consonants, but I notice that I'm running out of breath? That's okay, because that was not one of my 3 goals for today. And what I can do is just make a mental note or jot down that that will be my technical goal for tomorrow. Or maybe if I have a little more time to practice, I can say, okay, I really mastered these 3 micro goals, and now I'm going to essentially start another short practice session, because I still have time remaining, and add 3 new things. The bottom line is, choose 3 specific things to move forward, and by having 1 musical, 1 technical, and 1 expressive, you're really moving your entire artistry forward. So you're not creating a piece that's technically accomplished, but musically all over the map, or has no expression. You're really moving the entire performance forward, but 1 thing at a time. It's kind of like putting a wheel on a car, right? You're kind of moving around, tightening each lug nut as you go, and by the time you've gone around a few times, the whole performance is really intact, expressively, technically, and musically. So I've made a little PDF if you would like to have something to fill out, or you'd like just kind of a reminder of what these 3 areas are. I will link it below. And I would also like to say, this is a great chance for you to download that PDF, which will subscribe you to the newsletter. The newsletter on this website in the weekly warm-up has been my favorite part of this project since I started it. Every week I send out a little newsletter full of tips, information, news, encouragement. I almost never let you know about anything that I'm selling. I basically don't sell anything, so don't worry that it's going to be constant advertisements. It's just a chance for me to connect with you in writing, which is really my favorite way to communicate with singers just like you. If this process is useful to you, of course, you don't need the PDF for it. You can just go ahead and use it on your own. But I hope that this is a process that you will incorporate into your own practice, because it really helps to clarify and make every session productive, so that you can end a 5, 10, 20, or 30-minute practice session and really feel that you have moved your music forward and are really having some momentum to move into tomorrow and toward performance. So good luck with it. Let me know how it works out for you, or if you have goals that you want to kind of list below. I would love to see what you're working on. And in the meanwhile, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I love to know that there are singers out there who are making great use of this education, and I thank you so much for your time. It means a lot to me that you would watch, and I will see you next week.